Hey guys, and welcome back to Potter Thoughts. This week we're going to be talking about Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them in the movie. I will eventually talk about the textbook, which I do own, but this is the original screenplay, which I haven't read, but I have watched the movie twice, so I know what's going on. So the story revolves around Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, coming to 1920s New York to release a Thunderbird named Frank that he found in Egypt before the movie started, and release it back into the wilds of Arizona. He also talks about wanting to get an Appalachian puffskein, which I don't know if that's true or not. He does use it as an excuse, but he said his real reason was to return Frank to his habitat. In what ensues, while he is walking around New York, something happens. He loses his case full of monsters, and a bunch of them escape. So then he has to go around looking for them with two Ministry of Magic employees, Prophet Tina Goldstein, who ends up being Newt's wife later on in life, and her sister Queenie Goldstein, who is a Legilimens, who is very much attracted to a No-Maj, which is what they call Muggles in America, named Jacob Kowalski, who ends up learning about the magical world, and there's a very sad ending with him. Queenie is a Legilimens, which she reads everyone's minds pretty much throughout the entire movie, and and Newt doesn't like that because that ends up getting him in a little bit of trouble later. So Newt's a very cute character. Queenie, I'm in love with. I love the actress, even though I don't think I've ever seen her in anything before, but she's just such a good character. Kowalski is such an awesome Muggle. I'll be calling them Muggles because I don't like No-Maj. And he throughout the entire movie, he helps Newt no matter what to a fault, and he's so sad when he has to be obliviated at the end. There's many characters. So basically what Newt has is he has a briefcase that has a Muggle-worthy setting on it, so that it'll just look like a normal briefcase, which is, I assume, where he stores normal things, which he has a couple different things in there. He has a Hufflepuff scarf, because he's a Hufflepuff. We need more Hufflepuff characters. And inside that case, the non-Muggle-worthy version is a very, very large habitat for creatures, where there are many different creatures. We saw Fwooper, Demiguise, Occamy, I think there was a Deercrawl, Nifflers, Mooncalf they're so cute. We see the Swooping Evil, which is one of my favorite creatures in the entire movie. The Thunderbird, we see an Obscurus, which is something new in the series. We see Bowtruckles. There's also the Eurumpent, which is mentioned in the 7th Harry Potter book. But there's so many different creatures, and Newt needs some spells that I understand he doesn't want to hurt them, and I wouldn't either, but he needs spells that will help him recapture them. Because when he finds the Eurumpent is escaped in New York, the Central Park Zoo, he uses Eurumpent Musk, which ends up being a problem because it gets on Kowalski, and then the Eurumpent runs away from Newt and chases after Kowalski. The Eurumpent makes it much harder for Newt to recapture the character. We have different things. First I'm going to explain the Eurumpent because you might not know what it is. It's a rhinoceros type creature that can inject an exploding liquid into objects that it spears. It's really cool. That's what the Crumplehorn Snorkack-horn in the 7th book was supposed to be. We also see the Niffler, which looks a lot different than I thought it originally would. I thought that the Niffler looked, because it says it's short-snouted, so I thought of a little like elephant-type snout on it, but it looks more like a platypus type creature. We see the Bowtruckles, which do look different than I thought because they were sent to look like bark and twiggy, so I thought like they would look brown, but they're actually green. An Obscurus, which is something that we've never heard of before, where magical like wizards, they have to suppress their powers because of persecution and abuse, and so they become an Obscurial, and an Obscurus forms. They usually don't last past the age of 10, according to Newt, but Credence Barebone, I think, was 14 or 17 or something like that, and he was incredibly powerful when he became it. He was played by Ezra Miller, who I love. There was also a Sudanese girl who was 8 when Newt said that she died, and he separated the Obscurus from her. That also brings the question of, could Ariana Dumbledore be an Obscurus, and that's what caused her problems. And we may see that in further movies because one of the characters ends up being Grindelwald in disguise. So what I think is going to happen in the future is that we're going to see the defeat of Grindelwald by Dumbledore. So we may see the growing friendship between them and the fight, which could end up showing that Ariana Dumbledore is indeed an Obscurial, or was indeed an Obscurial. One thing that kind of broke the immersion in the beginning of the movie was, how did nobody in the bank see the Niffler? Because it was jumping off people's cases, and that would add weight to the cases and stuff like that. I do love how it has like a super, super big pouch in its stomach, despite being like the size of this book. But I do definitely think that stuff like that, like that they should have noticed him. They should have noticed the Niffler. One of my last things that I want to talk about is appariting. And it looks so much better in these movies because of how they look when they teleport. Spells, they didn't really use a lot of spells verbally. They used Accio at the end, and they used some others, but there was a death potion in it too that was really weird. I'd like to learn more about their death sentence that they have in the MACUSA. So overall, I really loved the movie. I will be getting it on DVD when it comes out, and I hope to get promotional stuff from it, as I have this promotional Fantastic Beasts standee from before the release. But I hope to get more, and thank you guys. Next week, I'll be doing a top 5 of my favorite creatures from Fantastic Beasts. See ya.